MattArmstrong bought a BMW F80 M3 Competition from Copart, believing it was exactly what the listing claimed. A clean title performance car with a knocking engine, low mileage, and paperwork that appeared flawless. The VIN matched the windscreen. The OBD scan returned the same VIN. On paper, everything was in place. This was supposed to be a straightforward rebuild. Fix the engine, put the car back on the road, and turn a damaged M3 into a valuable performance car again. The numbers made sense. The price made sense. There was no reason to suspect anything was wrong, until small details started to surface. The first issue wasn't mechanical, it was specification. The BMW M3 sitting in front of him wasn't just an M3, it was clearly an M3 Competition. Carbon interior trim, competition seats, competition seat belts, black exhaust tips, black badges, 20-inch wheels. Everything on the car matched a factory M3 Competition, but the registration plate and VIN didn't. According to the registration and vehicle data, the car was a non-competition model with standard trim and a black interior. The car in the workshop had a white interior and full competition specification. While it was technically possible for someone to swap interiors or retrofit competition parts, the amount of effort required made it extremely unlikely. This wasn't one or two upgrades. This was a complete factory-level specification mismatch. Then something worse appeared. A BMW M3 Competition in Yas Marina blue with a white interior had been reported stolen in 2023. Photos of the stolen car began circulating online. The resemblance was unsettling. Same color, same interior, same competition features. The stolen car was still listed as wanted and had never been recovered. The only thing that didn't match was the registration plate. At first glance, that should have been reassuring, but it wasn't, because when the registration plate on MattArmstrong's car was checked, it came back completely clean. No theft markers, no issues, the mileage lined up, car history checks returned no red flags. That's what made this situation dangerous. Anyone buying this car would have believed it was legitimate, because the identity being checked wasn't stolen. The deeper they looked, the more the story fell apart. The service history accessed through the car's iDrive system showed servicing dates and mileages from 2021. When those records were compared to the stolen BMW M3, they matched almost perfectly. Same service dates, same mileage, same dealership. The chances of two identical BMW M3s being serviced on the same days, at the same dealer, with the same mileage, were effectively zero. That was the moment suspicion turned into alarm. The engine was already coming out due to a knocking bottom end, so attention turned to the engine number. When it was checked, it didn't match the VIN or logbook of the car MattArmstrong had purchased. Instead, the engine number matched the stolen M3. The heart of the car belonged to a vehicle reported stolen years earlier. At this point, the theory was no longer about swapped parts or coincidences. This was a cloned identity. Physical inspection of the car revealed more. One chassis leg showed signs of sanding, repainting, and overspray around the VIN stamping area. The paint didn't match the surrounding factory finish. The opposite side of the car looked untouched and original. This suggested that part of the structure had been worked on specifically to alter identification markings. The situation was now serious. In the UK, possession of a stolen car results in immediate seizure, regardless of how or where it was purchased. If the police took the vehicle, the money spent on it would be gone forever. All evidence was sent to Copart. Their initial response was cautious, measured, almost defensive. From their perspective, this vehicle had passed every single standard check they performed. The VINs matched perfectly. The OBD data matched. Every piece of paperwork matched. Everything aligned. On paper, this car was legitimate. They had no reason to suspect fraud. After all, they're one of the largest vehicle auction companies in the world. They process thousands of vehicles every single day. Their verification systems are designed to catch exactly this kind of thing. And yet, this car had sailed through without raising a single red flag. They suggested the possibility that perhaps only the engine had been stolen, that maybe the rest of the vehicle was genuine, and this was simply a parts swap rather than a full clone. It was a reasonable theory. It would explain some of the inconsistencies while still justifying why the car had passed their inspection process. Maybe this wasn't as bad as it seemed. But then one final detail changed everything. Inside the car, tucked away where most people would never think to look, was a small sticker marked with 4 letters, FGNR. It's a German abbreviation standing for Fahrgestellnummer, which translates to chassis number. To anyone who doesn't speak German, it's just another random label among dozens inside a vehicle. Easy to overlook, easy to ignore. And the VIN printed on that sticker did not match the VIN displayed everywhere else on the car. Instead, it matched the stolen M3. The original stolen M3. This was the smoking gun. The one piece of evidence that couldn't be explained away. The one detail the criminals had missed. The criminals who had cloned this vehicle had been meticulous. They'd changed the visible identity with surgical precision. They'd swapped VIN plates, reprogrammed electronic control modules, forged documents, and created a flawless digital trail that would fool even trained professionals. Every detail had been considered. Every angle had been covered. But they hadn't understood the language. They hadn't known what FGNR meant. They probably saw it, looked right at it, and dismissed it as just another German technical label that meant nothing. And they certainly hadn't realized the significance of that one small sticker hidden inside the vehicle. That single oversight became their undoing. That sticker was the final, undeniable proof. 2 weeks after the investigation began, after countless emails, phone calls, inspections, and sleepless nights, Copart confirmed the conclusion. The car was stolen, a complete clone, a masterwork of automotive fraud. A full refund was approved immediately. The BMW M3 would be returned to Copart, removed from MattArmstrong's possession, and flagged in every international database as a cloned vehicle. The timing couldn't have been closer to disaster. Police officers arrived to investigate the following day, just 24 hours later. If the car had still been in MattArmstrong's possession at that moment, it would have been seized on the spot as evidence in a criminal investigation. And once seized by law enforcement, the refund would not have been possible. The money would have been gone, the car would have been gone, everything would have been lost. Matt would have been left with nothing but a police receipt and a legal nightmare. One day. That's how close it came. One single day separated a resolved case from complete financial disaster. With the stolen car finally gone and the refund secured, attention shifted to finding a replacement. This time, the search was different. More careful. More paranoid. Every detail questioned. Every document verified multiple times. Eventually, a legitimate dark blue BMW M3 Competition was found. Higher mileage, yes. An insurance write-off, certainly. Far from perfect, but real, honest, verified through multiple independent sources, and most importantly, rebuildable. A car with a genuine history that could be traced, confirmed, and trusted. This entire experience revealed something deeply unsettling about how advanced vehicle cloning has become in recent years. This wasn't some crude backyard operation run by amateurs. How many cloned vehicles are sitting in driveways, garages, and dealer lots at this very moment? How many people are driving cars they believe are legitimate, completely unaware that they're sitting in stolen property? How many buyers have already lost everything because they didn't catch it in time, didn't know what to look for, or simply trusted the wrong people? That's the real question we should all be asking. And the answer is probably more terrifying than any of us want to believe. This is the hidden side of the automotive world. The side that doesn't get talked about until it's too late. The side where a dream purchase can turn into a legal nightmare overnight. And it can happen to anyone.